Alright, bro. What? That's poor? If I don't sub after that one, do it. Hello, YouTube fam. Got some things lined up. We technically got a response from Karkat. He left a comment as well. I want to look at the video he made today. He's the guy who made the Black Panther rework concept that quite a few people reacted to. And have a little talk about the Mr. Fantastic buff. And then play him. Hello, bro. Really, dude. How you doing? Alright. Where's my itinerary? I'd agree with Gallus about Starlord. I do play him a lot, so there's some bias, and obviously as old as aimbot. Yeah, the issue I have with naming Starlord is that I feel like he's not that... God. He was fine before any power creep buffs, and he still got left behind. But he didn't need power creep buffs back when they were giving them to him. And his AoE and his ultimate, I don't believe are really great or super interactive. They're a bit lame. But I compare him to like Phoenix, Hela, Psylocke, Bucky. I feel like base Bucky at the start with a nerfed ult would probably be a contender for Starlord's spot. I don't know if Starlord is actually at the top though. Like launch Bucky if you nerfed his ult. Say hello to Liz, chat.
Hi, Liz, chat.
All right. Partner showcase. Just send out the message to the Rivals Discord that I'm allowed to. All right. Karkat's video. So I'll do a proper introduction if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, to him as well. First time seeing a battered wife and a wife beater. All right. I love the pandas. Say again? All right, I'm about ready to go, so I'm going to get step chat in here as well. Make sure the chats are connected, and then let's begin. Sound good? What was that, Inglourious Bastards? It was. Hello, everyone. Me when I'm a loser. All right, let me just make sure publish those streams. It's actually a few things that are minor intricacies. I'd argue it's less his tech and more so the playmaking and the decision making with him. Yeah, and it's like from a player's side, I also do like that you can use his boosters while you're in his AoE spam state. Like, that's a cool little thing you can do. Maybe if you said hello every pony like a real alpha, you would actually get a response. Zinky, if you weren't somehow necessary, you'd be banned for life. I'll let him decide if I was serious or not. Okay. Hello, Rack. Raccoon Gag. Hello. I liked and sub. Thank you, King. Hello. I'm just testing to make sure both chats are connected to my window. Cool. They are. Hello, Step Chat. Are there F4 buffs? Yes. I will be going over them second with the stuff I'm talking about today, so I will get to that. Hello, Oscar. Hello, Carino. Activate. Let me see that source. Test. Command. Command connect. Fantastic ball. It is. It actually is. It's a good buff. It's the number one thing I've wanted to happen. When it's almost there, it's going to connect. Always so iffy with step chat. Come on. Do you play Roblox? I do not. What's your opinion on the new map? I think it's very beautiful but confusing. I haven't played it yet. I saw Potato's video on it, which was interesting. He made a comparison to Shin Shibuya, which made my spidey sense go off. But it seems maybe there's some improvement to it in that aspect of the dynamic it creates. Evade source, please.
New tippy detected.
Just got fired because he said I couldn't stretch it like Mr. Fantastic. Also guys, please let me know if you're interested. I'm looking for work.
Thank you, Gallus's concubine, for the 330. Can I get a W for Gallus's concubine? Thank you, bro. I'll be back in the next live. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Have a good one. That's something else. Step chat, please connect. It's still not connecting to the chat window. We all taking holes. Gamma de. You understand the point. There's also more counters to Star-Lord's ult than simply mag, like Local Lamp, which is just a cooldown. Gets CC during the startup support ults, obviously. That's positive for Star-Lord. Starting depending on the map and everything, etc. Yes. I'm hulking out. No. It's not connecting to my other window. Please, step chat. I beg. Connect. It came through. It came through. One more. Test. We made it. Elite. Someone in step chat send a message. Okay. Everybody, that means we're ready to go. Pause the music. All right.
New follower.
My eyes. Thank you for the follow. It's a tat. It's a bit bright in here. That's a little bit better. Okay. This will do. All right. So for those of you who haven't been here for any of my content about Karkat's rework, Karkat is a high-ranked Panther player who makes content and streams, and he released a video not too long ago about a Black Panther rework. Yes, it is. This one. It was 2 weeks ago. This was reacted to by a few big creators, Necros being the biggest, I think. I had a look at it because, frankly, I love stuff like this. It's really good. It's a really good... it's just a good piece of content to look at to sort of investigate the situation with Panther. There are some issues I have with it. I've already made content about that and the issues I have. I primarily make shorts, so that's my own fault, I guess. But I think most of my points got out, and it's a pretty divisive topic, obviously. Panther is a divisive hero. He has specialist super fans. This hero does one thing. He's all about skill expression and getting those clips. And he also is insanely oppressive to play against in the right hands if you don't have counters. So he's been hotly discussed. We have win rate data on him that's been pretty shocking. As in lower ranks towards Celestial. Celestial is where it seems to flatten out. The win rate data is pretty damning. He is very good. Hello, Cherry. Okay. Anyway. I'm Cognito. Hello. Yep. I hate Marvel Rivals. I quit playing about 2 weeks ago. The best decision I made. Okay. Playing since day one. Damn. Who did you play? I did not go over the Mr. F buffs yet. Kind of the big thing I think about with him is the fact that if he isn't countered, he pops off. Yes. No one's killing him enough, so he's just harassing everybody for free. Yes. And if you're playing with it, this is getting at what I'm going to talk about as my main point. If you're playing him while getting countered, though, then you're throwing. So it's a little weird. Yes. Exactly. It's the dynamic people thought they were explaining by just swap hit scan if they have flyers when they started introducing Ultron, Torch as well. There were 4 flyers in the game at that point. Just pick a hit scan. It's not all or nothing with those heroes because there's so many of them. It's easy to give them resources. The movement is insane on them and they're just generally difficult to hit. Hit scan doesn't just fix it. Do you feel characters have identity problems in Rivals? Yes. I definitely feel that way. Yes. Hello, PB. Anyway, yeah, I think overall, the rework concept, I'll just jump to where it is. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like a lot of it. I like pretty much all of his reasoning. I just think there is a blind spot that Karkat has. I think he's a good communicator. I think the video is good. But yeah, I think there is not enough weight given to essentially the area that is outside of his expertise. He's a very good Panther player. He's played a lot of Panther, but I do not believe he has given enough time and thought to diagnosing the actual problem for other people with the hero. I'm doing good, PBG. How are you? Thoughts on Hela? She was a problem, and then she got made more irrelevant by Phoenix and was never touched, but she was a problem. Yeah. Okay. So the rework is... Essentially, this was non-specific. So I am definitely not crazy when I'm saying this, because it seems almost like he or his community run a bit of defense for the nebulous nature of this rework. Everything written down here is a concept to implement with no hard numbers. Right? It seems that if we take it at face value, you are giving Panther more dashes, but reducing their damage and increasing his HP. In a general sense. There's a few other stuff in here that is I have issues with, but I think are kind of mostly irrelevant. Adding a spitting kick animation cancel, I feel like that's flavor for the Panther diehards, but I don't think it's super relevant to the rework itself, nor is it needed. Anyway, my contention with my response to this rework was that the rework is misguided. Like I said earlier, the diagnosing of the issue. So it posits that the problem with Panther is his low time to kill. Sorry, those one-shot combos, like the C&D clip where they just get assassinated and they weren't looking around, so there's nothing they can do. Like they just die like that. The purpose of this rework is to keep him in the fight longer and make him more consistent with less damage, right? So because he's around more, people can react to him, right? The issue I have with that logic is that it assumes it is just the lethality that is a problem with Panther. And Karkat actually responded to me on that. And his answer to it was essentially that because the hero is so counterable, if he's in the fight more, then everyone's going to have an easier time against him. Which is true, but I do not believe that actually solves half of the problems. It increases the window for counters to counter him. It does not improve the experience for non-counters trying to interact with him. I do not believe, even if the Panther is worse in his relative rank against bronze players of his rank, I do not believe those bronze players can adequately respond to the speed of Black Panther at all, right? We saw this in Overwatch 2. Remember, the nerf Genji meme? Everywhere. It was everywhere. It's still a thing, right? Why did they nerf Genji? Ever. Anyone who was a talking head thought the hero was bad. Or he's not that good. Or he only scaled with coordination, basically. It's because people couldn't hit him when he was double jumping, bro, and with one dash. They can't hit Genji. It's a thing. So, in an effort to make him more accessible to interact with, as a matter of fact, I do not believe this makes him more accessible to interact with for anyone other than someone who slaps a circle on the ground. As a matter of fact, if you're giving him more uptime mid-fight, right, and you were already countering him, doesn't this just make him more obnoxious? He's going to get more bitch by counters. It doesn't change anything, just makes him worse flat out. I guess the logic is for giving him more HP, right? Removing soft interrupts. I mean, the soft interrupts is actually, it doubles down on the hard counters part, right? Is that, look, if Panther is in and gets slammed by the thing, he's a 275 HP hero, he's dead, right? If he's a 375 HP hero, he might actually be getting out half the time, right? And he starts to be getting in and out more like Iron Fist, but when Iron Fist is in, he does not force a 180 camera spin 3 to 4 times. And I do not think enough weight is given to the fact that that mechanically is easier to execute the lower you go than it is to track him, the lower you go. They will be slower at doing it, the lower you go. But the hitbox is bigger. It is in Panther's favor, and if you incentivize him being on the front more, farming those dashes more, which is the experience this is trying to capture. Hitting as many dashes as possible on as many targets. Dash, 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 dash. That's the feeling you love on Panther. Making that easier to do and farm off any targets because you're less punished for being in any position because you're tankier means that that experience will be more prevalent in lower ranks. Meaning he'll be in longer, but being able to hit him is going to be more of a problem. Would help higher ranking lures, but lower rank Luna is never hitting that freeze. True, yes. Anyway, I'm going to listen to his response now. Reducing the dash cooldown is going to make him faster. The stun still needs to be landed, which is the main issue with Luna aim. $180 BPs is just you writing your own funeral. You're not stopping that guy. Like, most supports don't have stuns and don't have an effective way to kill him, just barely survive. The rework would help Luna or Mantis since they can actually react well now. Yeah. Karkat rework is making him the actual tickle monster. He responds to that in the next video. I'll show it. What if they made his dash not as easy to hit? I think... Look, that is honestly okay as a concept, but it goes with where I would like to take the hero, really, is that I think most of this is okay, but the dash farming is a problem with the hero that people like him for. Like, they like the hero for the problem.
Splash
A la
some bits,
Roadhog
baby.
Overwatch 2. The hero needs a different cooldown to get value in a different way. We can use existing stuff in the design space to look at that. As I've referenced Iron Fist before, Panther has the theme of his armor absorbing damage. Perhaps he should have some sort of empowered state and a defensive cooldown and less dashes, or one less spear, or something, and a different way to get marks, something like that. But he needs to go in a different direction because this only addresses part of the issue, and the conversation would move to the fact that, oh, you can react to him. Now the conversation is not going to be, oh, you weren't looking around for Panther or just go thing, to it's only going to be just go thing, or learn to aim when you're in bronze and silver. The conversation will just move. This will not fix the problem. Just get good for real. BP is underpowered. You have missed everything I just said. Okay. Lower elo has a double issue. Not only are they worse mechanics, wise, but swapping wise a gold elo player, don't swap thing or Ultron or no why. Okay. You do it's more based around the skill required and attention required to deal with him. Like Adam doesn't need to stun because he's heals. Rocket can dash out, Ultron is flying constantly. Jeff can get out and heals himself too much for BP to kill him, I think. Loki lamps and or can TP. Yeah, all of that's fine, but I'm talking about the actual interactability of the non-hard counters. Okay. Let's go. Muted? Thank you. Thank you. Sorry. Sorry, everyone. I'll replay it for the horizontal.
Yo,
Thanks.
Karkat. A lot of you saw my video on the Black Panther rework, not just on my channel, but on the channels of creators like Necros who reacted to it. So I want to do two things today that I thought would be fun. First, I want to respond to a lot of the common feedback I got on the rework and showcase some good ideas people left in the comments. Second, compile those reactions and provide some on-screen text commentary while the clips play. Thanks so much for your support on the rework video. It has the single largest number of comments across any video on my channel, and I loved reading everyone. Real quick before we jump in, I checked my analytics for the first time in a while and can now say that just over half the people who watch my channel aren't subscribed. I'd love to have that number hit 100k so that my ego can just absolutely explode. If you enjoy the videos, consider helping me get there.
Sorry,
I'll start off
okay.
by running down the list of major criticisms I saw about the Karkat rework. The first one I saw a lot of people point out is they think the rework will make Black Panther even more of a tickle monster. I completely understand where this is coming from, and I will preface all my responses with the disclaimer that I'm not claiming I have definitive proof that everything I propose is correct. But I understand better than 99% of people what makes this character tick and how he fits into the overall meta. So these are thoughts that come from looking at the game holistically. If you pay attention—
Hold on. No, you don't. I would be aware. This has become in some ways emotionally charged topic. Okay, that a lot of community members are getting involved in. But just FYI, he is an authority on what makes the character tick and how he fits into the meta. I do not believe he has a methodology and adequate considerations for looking at his place in the game holistically. I'm talking about health of the product.
attention to tickle my definitive proof that everything I propose is correct. But I understand better than 99% of people what makes this character tick and how he fits into the overall meta. So these are thoughts that come from looking at the game holistically. If you pay attention to tickle monster clips, 9 times out of 10, the reason why the tickling is happening at all is because of some large support cooldowns being used, like Cloak Bubble, Soul Bond, Loki Crystals,
Yes.
often on top of normal healing. It's when those abilities aren't used that Black Panther is able to consistently secure kills with one-shot combos. That's how you get this sort of paradox where he's both a tickle monster and an insane one-shot, low time to kill character at the same time. The problem with this is there are so many strong support cooldowns, healing output in this game is outrageously high, so your job as a Black Panther right now is to somehow very consistently find the absolute perfect moment where the cooldowns are not available to completely invalidate whatever you do. But with Rework...
And he and I, look, to be honest, I would love to have him on stream at some point. But he and I will agree on literally 99.5% of issues with the game, because this is 100% true. All of this is like, there are so many overwhelming support cooldowns. Healing is so ridiculously high. This is the experience and the problem you run into on so many playmakers. It's unreal, and it is unhealthy for the game.
You increase his uptime, and what that actually allows for is for Black Panther to potentially stay in the fight long enough for those cooldowns to run out. You're essentially increasing the margin for error on his engage timing to better fit in with the overall ecosystem of healing abilities. Now, decreasing dash damage may...
I think that's fine. Right? Essentially, what we're looking at is kind of a hero archetype like Captain America. Someone who, instead of being a Giga assassin, they can stay in forever. Basically.
Panther to potentially stay in the fight long enough for those cooldowns to...
Also, I just want to point out this clip,
cooldowns
by
are
the
not
way,
available to completely
because
invalidate whatever you do. But with the rework,
I want us to be a bit honest about what's going on
increases...
here. All right? See what he's doing in this group. How low do you think you have to go for this to be viable to do? Because all these guys react slower than you execute it. You need to get pretty high for these guys to react as fast as you're doing it.
Uptime, and what that actually allows for is for Black Panther to potentially stay in the fight long enough for those cooldowns to run out. You're essentially increasing the margin for error on his engage timing to better fit in with the overall ecosystem of healing abilities. Now, decreasing...
I'm going to be very, very, very clear. It's not that hard to spin your camera and hit a group. And it will be incentivizing doing that and making it easier to pull that off. Should, in a theoretical sense, this rework go through.
Dash damage may still make him tickle a little bit more, but there was an idea posted in the comment section that I really love that would fix this, which we'll get into in a bit. Number 2, if we rework Black Panther to let him dash more, he'll be even faster and more annoying to fight. What people who say this need to understand is chaining multiple dashes together, especially with the amount of CC in the game, is very, very hard.
Now, we are saying this right after playing that clip against a Bucky. Right after doing it.
Cooldowns to run out. You're essentially increasing the margin for error on his engage timing to better fit in with the overall
and
ecosystem
Luna.
of healing abilities. Now, decreasing dash damage may still dashes together, especially with the amount of CC in the game, is very, very hard. If you're struggling with Panther doing this, get someone to lock in the thing and have him press shift. Just save shift for Panther and press it.
That is not an argument for the hero being well designed. That is not an argument for an interesting experience interacting with him. Right? If the solution to Panther is to pick something that problematically denies an entire archetype of hero because he's melee, we should be solving that too. We should move both of these to a better place.
Press it on top of your supports when he dives, problem solved. Things banned, pick Namor, Emma, Bucky, Angela, Hela, Inviswoman, Phoenix.
Hitting 180s is easier than tracking him. Yes, guys, the hitbox is bigger. Hitting 180 dashes on Panther is easier than hitting 180 headshots on Panther against him. There's more precision required. That's it.
Phoenix, Mag, Thor, Ultron, hell, even Iron Fist. All of those characters either have easy stuns to stop dashes or auto-aim solutions like turrets or healing drones. This is
exactly right. Auto-aim solutions. Is that good for the game?
the easiest character to counter in the game. The other thing to consider, again, is that because of how hard it is to continuously dash reset, low elo players will not be able to capitalize on this rework, making the character less strong in ranks below Plat and Diamond, which is what we need. If you're in
Wait. Say that again.
How hard it is to continuously dash reset, low elo players will not be able to capitalize on this rework, making the character less strong in ranks below Plat and Diamond.
Okay, lower ranks will not be able to capitalize on this rework when I'm fairly certain he's argued against people one-shot comboing in lower ranks because that's essentially like Smurfs doing it. So in bringing up the survivability and increasing the uptime and increasing the margin of error for sticking around and taking your time to aim and hit those marks, people won't be able to capitalize on this in lower ranks. I'm pretty sure this is a skill floor lower rework, no?
Which is what we need. If you're in silver, gold, or plat and a Black Panther is effortlessly running through your lobby even after you counter swap, that is probably a Smurf. And like I said, we should not and cannot balance based on what Smurfs can do. 3. Black Panther's dash
That's essentially the response he also gave to me. I mean, Golden, you never see him. He's double banned. True. That's very good, I think. That's great. I'm sure the attention drain of him being tankier, despite now hard countering him, so he's getting as much lethal stuff done in lower ranks. He's going to be really good, and he'll be banned even less, right? It's a net problem increase. Bespeckled King. Hello, Heaven's Charm. How are you? Lag Pro, thank you for the follow. Jamie B, I did not thank you for the 200 bits. Can I get some W's for Jamie? Sorry, I was locked in. CC counters, checks, notes, everything. It's not all about BP. That's right.
like I said, is effortlessly running through your lobby even after you counterswap. That is probably a Smurf. And like I said, we should not and cannot balance based on what Smurfs can do. 3. Black Panther's
We cannot and should not balance based on I can swap to something that has a button that turns a hero off completely.
dash shouldn't be exempt from CC. I agree with this. What I really meant is that there's way too much CC in this game, period, and they should gut it across the board and give it to heroes way less liberally. Finally, I propose...
Jabani, how you doing? What if we add Sombra to the game? The thought of hacking BP would heal me and my trauma. Okay.
Too many buffs and just want Black Panther to be OP. Some people pointed out that I offered up one nerf and then just listed a million buffs for my main to make him more fun for me. While I do clarify in the video that I don't think he needs all the buffs at once, another thing the wider player base doesn't really understand is this character is awful. Like, simply terrible. His viability is hard carried by his ability to one-shot, and since the rework takes that away, you have to give him a lot of love to make him viable again.
Now, there is a fallacy in here, because as an authority on Panther, he's essentially getting away with skipping over a pretty important point.
Awful. Like, simply terrible. His viability...
Guys, no one cares about his viability. Are we on the same page now? No one cares if he's viable or not. People are still banning him in my games, bro. What are we, top 0.25% as of last rank up? It's not about his objective viability win rate only, bro. People want to get on and have an experience that isn't an immediate headache. Either you have a serious headache with how much attention you have to divert and open your third eye and keep tabs on everything at a much higher rate than you would normally, or you don't get to play what you wanted to play. No, he's getting banned.
Is hard carried by his ability to one-shot, and since the rework takes that away, you have to give him a lot of love to make him viable again. If you don't believe me, play Black Panther. No one who actually plays this character calls him OP because we actually have to deal with playing him in every scenario.
People have to deal with playing against him in every scenario. It's like, yeah, it can be absolutely effortless for you to sit on your backline as a thing. Not this simple. But look, basically, like, I hate it too. Like, that's not, I don't think that's good for anyone and good for, like, the long-term health of the game. Like, but sitting on the backline as Panther and pressing shift, that's easy, bro. But you've traded your fun away. Look, everyone, I slammed Panther. That's it. That's my job done. And I don't get to play what I wanted to play. And I'm on the thing again. And their Bucky's shooting me all the time, and all I get to do is press shift on Panther, and that's it. That's my job.
Whereas everyone else only remembers the scenarios where he popped off. Now let's cover a couple ideas.
Why do people hate Peeling Dog? I can speak to you from my anecdotal experience. Essentially, if you're someone who is a space maker, everyone takes, uses, and controls space in some way. Supports don't really get to do it in this game. All right, maybe Adam does. In peeling, you have to make in the ranked ladder decision to give up the space and control you're exerting on the lobby to peel for someone in the hopes that that is now enough value in protecting those players to then carry your fight forward instead of just hard committing on the enemy team instead. And that decision always feels a little bit bad. I'm not saying it shouldn't be there and it's not wrong, but it's like I'm explaining to you why the experience isn't just like, oh, it's amazing, like peeling. I'm sure there are Namor players who love that shit. But yeah.
As I really liked from the comments of the original video. The first is to have each successful dash reset slightly increase dash damage up to a point that resets either after some time or when you miss. I think this is a beautiful idea that rewards skill expression while synergizing with the overall decrease in damage of the rework. Really, really good. Hope they do this. Another
I don't feel like he's explored what that would be like to play against.
nice quality of life change would be to give his spinning kick some element of vertical movement. This would solve a lot of the headache when it comes to getting caught on geometry and dying.
I'm actually okay with that. If it was a little bit like, if they gave a bit of verticality to spin kick, like, I don't see it as a big problem. Like that, yeah, fine, yeah. Acting as if peeling is a BP exclusive thing? No, I'm not. I'm just referring to peeling in the context of the BP situation.
It doesn't have to be fully omnidirectional though, as cool as it would be. There are a lot of other ideas, like melees applying marks like Phoenix does, dash only consuming one mark at a time, a little vibranium mark showing you when it's going to run out, stuff like that. I think when considering these types of changes, it's really important to strike a good balance between increasing quality of life and taking away skill expression. But they're fun ideas to think about. Alright, enough talking from me. Streamer reaction time, and you'll see some little text pop up in the corner.
I think, like, in the best faith that I can, I think there's a little bit of fallacious thinking, but, like, I'll do this as well. Is that a word that I meant to use? Yeah. In that, like, skill expression purely just makes good design. It's like all of this stuff, like, yeah, he's right. It needs to be weighed up or whatever, how it will work into the overall design. But these sound like just give him quality of life and then in, like, full all caps buffs. Like, the hero doesn't have jank in the kit, he just doesn't have anything other than doing damage with dashes. Quality of life buffs to him, like he only consumes one mark when he dashes, is like,
every now and then as editor Karkat reacts to their reactions with you. Enjoy.
Watch Karkat's video on how to rework Black Panther. Yo, actually this was like a banger. So this guy's like a really good Black Panther player, by the way. Although he's NA, so like NA.
how is BP easy? He's not, but he's not nightmarishly hard like a lot of people seem to paint it as.
One above all is like EU like silver, so it doesn't really count, you know.
And the actual skill floor, even if you play him like crap, and value floor are very low. In half the ranks, forcing someone to 180 turn is insane value. Forcing them to worry about that for the entire game is insane value. Like, that's just, it's easy value. That's it. It's the value. It's like, because you don't look good, doing it does not mean you're not getting value.
But he's really good though. Please don't hate me.
Okay, let's watch Karkat's video here.
Why don't you ban BP, man? He's so disproportionately banned by the entire player base. That's the reason for this discussion. That is a problem that needs to be addressed.
Boom.
I don't know exactly who this guy is, but he's apparently like a Black Panther main. He made a long video talking about how to fix Black Panther in Marvel Rivals. I would say that
You can go Jeff and do the same thing, though. You can make their entire team turn around when you're 100 feet away from them. Oh, yeah? Can you instantly travel 200 feet again and make them turn around again and then do it again and make them do it again?
the fix is to just delete the guy, declaw the kitty. But obviously that's not a solution, so let's take a look at what Karkat has to say.
All right, Mr. Karkat, let's see.
History. This was Panther at his peak. The sky was the limit. There was endless room to improve and optimize, and we were all just generally high.
How you doing, Mateus? Happy birthday.
Like, yo, people were so slow to react.
Yes, you can with Venom. Guys, do you think it's engaging meaningfully to say that Venom can make an enemy team turn around as many times as Black Panther in the same frame of time? First comment, what? Yeah.
There wasn't no Ultron Invisible Woman
Yeah.
thing.
Season 1
I
drops,
can't even lie,
and
man.
with
I
it,
missed the good old
fantastic
days,
Yes.
bruh.
Season 0 Panther
Yes. You reset his movement cooldown. That's his whole gameplay loop. What are we talking about?
It's fucking peak, bro.
Dude, like, just watching these clips makes me feel sick.
Yes, Dark, it
It's
is.
so gross to watch. Yeah, the hero fails here for to play because he's overpowered. Whatever.
Look, the bulk of what there is to talk about is in that intro. This is other people's reactions, basically. From what I get it, there's a little bit of fleshing out of stuff or agreeing or going like, yes, oh, I like that or whatever. It's like Necros or etc. Otter seems to have a decent amount of pushback. I'm pretty sure he prefaces him going into this pretty much like it's a video that he looked at and he made for his community. And he's not really coming in, I think, to engage with it that hard. And his opinion on it is kind of whatever.
Like Panther,
and people are shitting on him for it. I don't think he cares
he made
about it that much.
Long video talking about how to fix Black
Mike,
Panther
thank you for the
in
follow.
Marvel Rivals. I would say that the fix is to just delete the guy, declaw the kitty. But
Add tankiness and let him brawl. I agree. I think that that direction for him is good. Like, I think it's like 90% of the way there. I think increased dashes is not the way to go, though.
Solution. So let's take a look at what Karkat has to say.
All right, Mr. Karkat, let's see.
History. This was Panther at his peak.
He has swing, brother. You get in with one cooldown. You stand there. You get out with other cooldown. Guys, I'm about to have to explain the difference between counting to 2 and counting to 4 to you.
Sky was the limit. There was endless room to improve and optimize, and we were all just generally high.
Oh, bro, I'm just looking at it. It's like, yo, people were so slow to react. There wasn't no Ultron Invisible Woman thing.
Season 1
I
drops.
can't.
I want to see melee weaving for BP's reset. I kind of agree with that. I think something that's important is like, look, if I might shoot him a DM. I might shoot Karkat DM and be like, would you like to come on? Because I feel like he and I would be able to make a really good Panther rework. I feel like you can do justice to wanting to secure that fantasy of dashing around a bit. I think that should be accessed with his ult. I think if you want to hit 10 dash resets in a fight, maybe that's his ult state.
You follower.
I'm of the opinion that he should get some sort of defensive cooldown instead to enable brawling better. I think dash uptime shouldn't be a massive focus of it. I don't see any reason for removing the dash. We don't need to butcher the hero, but you know, his ult resets dash once. You do a bit of burst. If we rework him towards brawling, there's room there for maybe he goes beast mode. Thank you for the follower. The follower. Count Blackula 7. Monster, thanks for the follow. Thank you, guys. Sort of a move similar to Storm Goddess boost that would give him lots of dashes. I feel like an interesting concept for this hero would be to have, let's say you removed Spear, and you instead gave him a defensive cooldown, and dash was on a 3-second cooldown. His melee attacks reduce dash cooldown by either a second or half a second. And you move him to like 450 HP or something. Could be something like that. Maybe that's too much, but I think that's somewhat interesting.
Even lie, man. I miss the good old days, bro.
If BP was less BS to play against, the Hulk team up would actually be really good for the character, and if it wasn't auto-applied. Yeah. Is Mr. F getting a buff? He did, yes. Just play Iron Fist. That's the thing, right? I think he's good to draw from as something that occupies the space in a similar way, but it doesn't have to be. He goes in, he does melee attack, then he blocks and gets out. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Season 0 Panther was fucking peak, bro.
Dude, like just watching these clips makes me feel sick. This is so gross to watch. Yeah, the hero fails here for to play because he's overpowered. What?
In a way, that's true. Because the hero is S++ in one dimension and everything else is like D tier. Like, that is overpowered. Right? It's what I've been saying about Thor. I think the damage and where they've taken his damage and uptime is S++. But because he's C tier and utility and everything else, he's still okay. If they buff that damage anymore, if they give him any utility, he's going to break and just become must pick. Like, Thor's current Spidey needs some kind of rework. Yeah. Spidey's a meme hero, man. Yeah. Arf, hello Tim. Yeah, man. Sorry. I will just... I'll show you his comment that he left. Because it's nice to get some, like, something from him to go off of. Okay. Arf. Keep talking, King. I'm close. Ban Cherry. You don't need to remove it. You just need to make it fun to play against. And earned to use. Wait, which one are you talking about? The dash? I genuinely think if you died to BP like 4 times in a row, you suck. I think you can say that about anything in the game. I really don't like the new hero every month when they are all undercooked. I agree with you to some extent. Yeah. I don't understand the fun to play against mentality. Without going on an hour-long lecture, it is actually tried, tested, and proven in this space of arena hero shooters that people like dynamic mid-range fights the best. Panther has very steep all-or-nothing interactions. People just describe him as feast or famine. That's probably as far as you need to go into that. But either he's running the lobby or you swap to something that hard counters him, and it's a very boring interaction. Like, you could teach a hamster to do it. Thing put circle on ground, or C&D put bubble on ground, or Loki put lamp on ground, and now Panther can't do anything. It feels terrible for the Panther because he has no options in that scenario. And the other person didn't outplay him, they checked the box. And it's literally a race to the bottom of the worst that the game has to offer. Like, for non-counters, you can't interact with Panther because he's too fast and too lethal. For counters, you don't interact with Panther because he doesn't get to do anything to you. It doesn't create any dynamic gameplay that's interesting, match to match. It's a very 1-0, like... he doesn't plug into the format of the game and make it more interesting. And there's so much variety possible in a hero shooter, and that's why these are good. It's like 6 different kits on both teams interacting over an objective or whatever. And when you introduce such steep designs, it waters down that entire formula to 1 to 2 solutions and prunes off like 100. And it makes the game more boring. He should feel more fun to play. He shouldn't feel as terrible against hard counters, and he should feel more fun to play against. That makes no sense. Okay. What do you think about accelerating or decelerating the dash speed? Kind of like his kick, I guess. I think it'd be okay. Something I saw a suggestion for was, this is the problem when you introduce something that is kind of broken in one way, is that it's way harder to take away the toys once you give them to the player base. Slightly shorter dash distance could be okay. He's not even hard to hit too. Okay, just go and tell that to every single player that has inflated his ban rate. And I think keep arguing to them. You know what, let's put you on the product team as well, who's also supposed to keep the game alive and make the money. And I think you should just tell these players to get good until they leave the game and stop spending money on it. Despite Panther having this disproportionate effect, disproportionate ban rate, and them nerfing him super early, probably because they have data on average session times after going against this hero. Hello, Peter. I don't know, actually. That's the value of dive, though. No, you have no pressure mid-range. We can get big healing cooldowns with backline pressure instead of frontline burst damage that forces cooldowns all the time. Ah, yeah, but Psylocke can do that as well, right? And what does she do half the time? She shoots at mid-range. I'm not saying she's well-designed, but she's better. Iskara main. Where am I looking for the comment? I think Iron Fist is the perfect dive, doesn't require anything specific to counter, simply strategy. I think he's a bit better. I think he has his own issues. To be honest, I feel like the base tankiness of the hero is probably too high and too easy to access. And he's been shifted back towards, I think, farming tanks with his rapid punch damage. And there's, I think there are improvements you can make to Iron Fist, but without putting more thought into it, to me, it feels like that's something you have to iterate on. Like, I would like to see them redo his animation for blocking, redo the sound cue for blocking, not when you block something, when he starts the animation for it. Move him away from farming tanks, to be honest. Back to where he was a little bit, and genuinely start there. I need to put more thought into Iron Fist, to be honest. That's as far as I'll go with that. Anyway, where is he? Can you guys even read the comment? I'll read it for you. You can see some of it. You know what? Screw it. I'll move it. Hold on. It was made with a new tank rule. Hold on. Okay. And you see now. That works mostly. Probably not on vertical, but this will work for everyone else. Okay. Wait. Do I have? I do. Okay. I can appreciate this feedback and I'll address it in part in a follow-up video I'm posting tomorrow. Do you guys want to hear my one? Do the play of the game? I will. Hold on. Remy Mio 7, I posted it 23 minutes ago. Oh shit, it's you. Okay, I will respond to you. I have to agree with something Karkat said in his comment, and it's that no mid to low rank Panther who was actually at those ranks and not smurfing is hitting that many dashes in a row. I'm currently GM3, but I peaked Celestial 1 last season. I play DPS and tank. My main DPS is being Panther, and a big team fight when I'm going full speed and get the most damage out. I'm getting more than 3 to 4 ghost dashes. It's genuinely so hard. That's why Panther players are always so impressed by Haunt, who seem to do 6 to 7 ghost dashes in a row without even thinking about it. But when I tried to, I miss halfway in. This isn't a skills issue. This is unironically every Panther into the literal cream of the crop Panthers. Clips you see of people going in and one-shotting before anyone can react. You need to look at the combo used. They usually just did a spear dash, which is standard for a BP. They probably altered right after. Boom, everything died. That's because this Karkat said dash does a lot of damage. If when we do that whole combo, for example, they still have 50 HP left, that whole thing wouldn't seem so fast anymore because he's still alive, and after ult, he would have to take a second or two to confirm. Fuck, that's a long sentence, bro. I think a lot of people who don't get the Karkat rework don't play Panther because you guys don't seem to be able to comprehend what he means by lower dash damage. If they do lower dash damage, all these clips you were talking about aren't happening. That's not true. And the good Panther clips are going to be high-ranked Panthers hitting multiple ghost dashes for kills. Okay. I'll finish your comment. To also touch on the fact that you can't interact with Panther mid-dash, this game has a lot of AoE splash damage. I want you to actually watch Karkat gameplay and see what happens when he dives into a team 70% of the time. Your dash gets blocked by random Hulk bubble. I'm not concerned with his experience. I think all his ideas are good for his experience, but there needs to be more middle ground explored with a potential rework. Or an accidental Emma hit crystal hits you. Yep, blah, blah, blah. Yes. Mantis sleep. Emma grab. Bucky. Exactly. Yeah. I understand. These cooldowns are really easy to use. All cooldowns I just mentioned there have a really forgiving AoE. Yes. Just look at your feet, especially if you're Mantis, no low-level Panther. I know he's knowing to dash further away to dodge sleep if he's purposely doing that, also a Smurf. There are so many big AoE cooldowns in this game where you say you can't interact with them seems off. God, I'm going to need some political buzzword other than interaction at some point. Just use your AoE VC ability and bam. Fly Panther. No, that's not how reaction speed works. Scaled across ranks. Thank you for the comment, bro. Okay. So essentially, I believe... Okay, so two things, right? Hard counters that immediately shut him down and fully take this melee hero out of the game are not good for the game. I do not believe interactions like that are healthy for the game. Because you get such guaranteed easy value out of that, that essentially now you are losing value by not having that against Panther, meaning that you're restricting the variety of the hero shooter immediately before we're even out the door. We're in the spawn room doing that. Because this interaction is so steep. It is not this steep on a majority of the cast. It is really bad with Panther. That's really bad for this game. Balance needs to move towards as much variety as we can capture. Because that's the point of these games. Now the other part about hitting ghost dashes, etc., dashing through teams a lot, right? Given that the rework is moving Panther towards being tankier, and given that we already have data about how Panther scales in lower ranks, he doesn't need to hit these fluidly because it works as it does. He doesn't have an inflated win rate the lower you go because of Smurfs, because it doesn't present that way for every DPS hero with slight carry potential. He is not deadlifted by Smurfs. If he's tankier, that means there's a higher margin, there's a greater margin of error for the low-rank Panther players to not die and hit dash after dash after dash, which Karkat himself said is the purpose of the rework. That's the experience he's going for and wants to capture. What if we made Panther dash do no damage and instead you need a dash to build up for a big attack or combo thing? I like that as like a fascinating concept. It probably wouldn't work if I put more thought into it. But I like the idea of instead of like farming marks. Okay, TikTok Live. Instead of farming dash marks, you instead apply like a debuff with your dashes until you enter like an active state. I do like that to some degree, but this could be something we capture with another hero if we go this far. I'm not sure. It would be kind of cool, yes. I disagree. He's much more fun to smurf on than maybe any other character in the game. I can't trust your anecdote. It doesn't matter if he's much more fun to smurf on for you. Or if he's known to be smurfed on in general. But he is not going to be a solo smurf data artifact. The reason it doesn't seem that way for every DPS is because Panther is crazy fun. Okay, explain Spider-Man. It does a disservice to like any judgment, any design analysis whatsoever to say, oh, but Smurfs though. Like, we can't balance and assume that Smurfs are just creating the problem. He said that himself. It goes both ways. Move BP towards Brawl or make dash generally harder to hit. No longer an AoE dash. Yeah, moving him towards Brawl seems to be the move. Okay, so we're finally at Karkat's response. I can appreciate this feedback and I'll address it in part in a follow-up video. That's the one we just looked at. The main counterpoint to dash is too fast is primarily that it gets interrupted by anything. You pick Thing, Bucky, Emma, etc., press one button, and suddenly all his momentum is dead. Casual players need to understand that this is the most counterable character in the game, and in his current state, all you have to do is pick one of three characters to completely invalidate him. All this I'll explain in more detail tomorrow. There's a few things that are implied here. One of them is that casual players don't understand he's the most counterable character in the game. Really? Or maybe that's why they ban him so much. Given that we've agreed that they're casual players, wouldn't they want to not be forced off the heroes they came here to play? Wouldn't they, if they can't ban him, just dip and play something else? Because that happens. What I do want to touch on is this idea that Black Panther is too fast for casual players because he's dashing around 10 to 15 times. This just isn't a thing. We're designing for more of it though. Dashing that many times is extremely, extremely hard, not in low ranks. And you're designing for it to be easier in low ranks. And casual players are simply not going up against this unless they're playing against a Smurf. In any skill-based matchmaking lobby, theoretically, you're going up against someone in your rank who is around your skill level. Bronze, silver, gold, plat, and sometimes even up to diamond. Panther players are not able to consistently do any of the things that you're describing as his base gameplay that just happens all the time. This feels like sometimes something that I see a lot in discussion about things happening in low ranks when the player is not low ranked is that essentially they take the hero that's being talked about, say they're not going to be as good in low ranks, and then do not apply that exact argument to the people they're going against. Like, do you think the silver Hela player is going to be disproportionately now better at catching the slower Panther? It's always in Panther's court because the hitbox is bigger and he knows when and where he has to 180 spin, even if he's way slower at it. The Hela is going to be worse at 180 headshotting Panther or even just hitting his body because the hitbox is smaller. And it happens not when she decides. Sorry. Once you get above diamond, those players are competent enough to just counterpick and instantly force the Panther to swap. I don't know if we want to admit that. Here. Wait, what? Once you get above diamond, those players are competent enough to just counterpick. So, are we saying that below diamond, because the prevalence of counterpicking is lower in the higher population player base that wants to play what they want, the prevalence of counterpicks is lower? But somehow the ability to interact with Panther despite the speed of his dashes is higher because the Panther is not as fluid in his combos. But this is skill-based matchmaking. The aim also scales in the same way. I like Karkat too. I think he has really good ideas. Yeah. The only place this might happen more often is quick play, where SBM... Look, to be honest, I'm not a fan of this last paragraph. I think it's a bit of conjecture. Like, I don't think it really addresses much of what I've been saying. Only place this might happen more often is quick play, where SBMM is not a thing and match quality is terrible. We should not be balancing the game for quick play. I maintain that the rework near fully addresses this by preventing insta-kill combos and giving players a lot more time to react and counter Panther in any given fight. That's why the thesis of the main rework is that the survivability and speed are not the main issues. It is entirely his time to kill. Panther is entirely unique in that his time to kill is also tied to his movement, and the way he accesses that time to kill is movement that is insanely difficult to track, because especially for below diamond, you need to 180 hit him or predict where he's going to be, and that's not happening. The Panther's slower, and then so are the people he's attacking. I don't see it. If the thing is watching only for BP and saving cooldowns just for him, then he can kind of sell not using his kit. That's an issue in its own, though. Full dive team can make it so I can't save my cooldown. Yes, if I'm playing Thing, I might have to save Healer from Spider-Man, and here comes BP with a whole... Yes. Look, there's so much you can talk about with every single hero, and something that does need to be discussed at some point is the compounding effect of 4 dive heroes at once. But I'm seeing that in like Celestial games, and a lot of the time it is like, man, this again, because that it almost feels like Ultron was made for that in that bracket of lobbies, because it's like on other heroes, yeah, you patty cake or whatever, you use this cooldown, etc., etc. You have good positioning, but it's like they have 3 dive heroes who are good and they coordinate well. You will run out of cooldowns if you're playing perfectly on the supports. It's literally a matter of time. Like. And yeah, I don't know. Not necessarily that it is an issue, but I think it's something to talk about at some point. Wish Overwatch Workshop was in Rival so we could just see what the Karkat rework would look like. Exactly. Yeah. I think work to be done is that it would be great to have a conversation with him. And see if we could think up some stuff together. I think if it like comes to a head and somehow we don't end up agreeing, which I feel like is probably unlikely. I think further is that if you posit anything about how these lower rank interactions go, is that we need to deep dive into it. Let's get 20 VODs. Let's get 100 VODs. Like, that's where it would go next. I think the biggest thing for me is just using mics. I play a lot of solo queue and pings just too much as a coordinated team. Yeah. My main issue with BP complaints is that if you look at the bunch of players who complains about him, they just suck. Guys, everyone sucks. Everyone sucks. You need to determine whether or not that matters or not. Unfortunately, BP is so disproportionately good the lower you go. The dynamic... God, and this is going to fall on deaf ears. It's really hard to get this out. The reason Panther is good down there is because it makes people and casuals feel like they're not playing the game anymore. They can't diagnose what is wrong. They feel like the game is playing them. They no longer feel like they're playing Rivals, and they can't figure it out. And he is almost the only hero that creates that dynamic. I would say Spidey probably does it as well. What the hero does in his design and what he's incentivized to do, I do not care how good or bad you are at him, the incentive is to do this, is that he creates that constant presence, the constant attention drain, and the threat of being comboed without being able to react once he's there, right? In going against Panther, people will sort of naturally realize that what they need to be doing is like they play really paranoid and they're scared the whole time. That's how it feels like to lower rank players. What is mechanically happening is once he's in the lobby, the players at X rank need to have macro and game sense that is 2 ranks higher than where they're at. And it feels like the game is broken. It does not feel like they don't know what to do. Rivals is sold in the casual experience as this silly, everyone's broken hero shooter, everyone's got silly buttons, everyone's got 7 buttons on their kits, I make big explosions, everyone's ult is ridiculous, or whatever. And Panther introduces casual players too early to how the game is meant to be played. And it's the macro game. It is marking the hero. It is keeping tabs on the hero. It's having good positioning. It's properly managing your attention. Being okay with dying if you're winning in the ult fight. All of this stuff. It's boring to casual players. And it's done way worse in Rivals as well, the optimization of the game, than it is in the other hero shooters. Because Rivals is way too ult and swap heavy. Yeah. I'm a casual. I mostly play tank, and when BP is unbanned, I literally have to play the thing, and I need to babysit my supports and constantly peel for BP, right? And this is what is frustrating in engaging in discussions like this. Like, Karkat is absolutely going to be an expert on BP. But I don't believe him to have given enough thought to the onboarding and churn issues around this hero. Like, they nerfed him so early, bro. I bet you people were bailing out of the game and having way shorter session times after they went against Panther. Disproportionately. Anyway. Hopefully that made sense. Read my last message. Where is it? I can't see it. How far do I have to go? Oh, I feel like BP players misunderstand that we're on BP players' side for the most part. Yes, we want BP to be fun to play even into counters. Yes, we want BP to be able to counterplay against his counters. Yes, but we want to be able to counterplay against him with our own mains. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Yes, you get to, if you want to make him healthy for the game, great, but you need to step in the ring. You need to be part of the game in a way that acknowledges that you're being put into an ecosystem. That's it. I'll respond to comments. We'll look at the Mr. 4 buffs. That was a big yap. I do not know if I will make anything out of what I just recorded. It was an hour long, so that would take ages to go through. And I could get 3 shorts done with the... That would be 3 shorts worth of cutting and trimming. And also that scales with the rest of the edit with how long it is. So maybe I, sort of off of the main points I brought up today, maybe I just script up a response. Might be worth something more. Anyway. Devil, how you doing? Got the best idea for fix Black Panther. Remove him from the game or make him slower, and also Spider, you can't swing now. Thank you, Devil. What the hair doing? What about something like me? I have multiple hours on every role. What do you mean? Unreactable is a very niche combo. Yeah, it's... I don't believe the unreactable combo... Like, it needs to be addressed. But I don't consider that to be like a... Are we seriously going to assume that combo is it? It's like the 250 HP breakpoint combo. That's the problem with Panther. Like,
that's a lot of glazes.
What about
W right in the shot?
Daxu with the raid. Can I get a shout out for Daxu? How was stream, bro? Freaky mouth. Okay. Mods ban all raiders. I'm just catching up on the comments after that yap session. We were talking about Black Panther. Had to stop early. I can't believe it.
Bingo.
Welcome, everybody. How are you doing? Hello. I'll do it. Did we do it? I'm just hitting it. Daxu, Emma. Shout out. Thank you, Daxu, bro. Love your middle part. Wow, thank you. Your mouth is so freaky. Okay, have a good one, Daxu. Thank you again, bro. Hello, Soupy. You love Evangelion? I haven't even seen it, bro. I'm sorry. I'm getting roasted for that, probably. Diagnose the issue of matchmaking and the symptoms of BP will probably fizzle out. That is very wishful thinking. The main thing with Panther is that the people who complains about Panther end up being farmed by every dive character, so it is a Panther. Is it a Panther problem or is it a people problem? Yeah, but we have disproportionate data on Panther. And he also has a very unique dynamic with how he engages in fights. Matchmaking is more of an issue than BP is. Oh, this is the first part of your point. Nature of ranked play is stompy and smurfy in nature. They need a better system to make people play people at the same skill level. The problem is that it's the dynamic of how Panther requires a response, basically. It's like bronze to diamond. Players need a disproportionately high game sense to deal with him for what the Panther's getting done at his skill floor. And it's a really unpleasant experience. That's why people hate him. And it fizzles out and he becomes pretty worthless because the counter experience against him is literally press button and the hero is turned off. And also people have the requisite game sense when you hit like towards Celestial because they track him. And that's when they have the requisite game sense against him. Like, the entire backline dynamic in this game is super attention based. Panther just busts it wide open for existing. Answer my question when you get a chance. Let me see. Hold on. EDX. Let me rephrase. Do you think buffs nerfs should be a character's overall win rate or highest win rate rank? It's kind of a trick question. It's not that simple. Like, I'm going to use Mr. Fantastic as my easiest example because I play him a lot. Right. He is too good in lower ranks, and he is terrible past GM. Like, shockingly bad. And what they did was they nerfed his bonus health that he gets in his big form, which to me is actually like an okay way of nerfing him in lower ranks because the big form already was bad in high ranks, and you cancel it most of the time anyway. And that is kind of a best of both worlds solution. It's not a perfect example. I'm sure to say something about it in the future, but like that's the kind of logic. Like if who's another hero that was maybe nerfed recently, or let me think. Do I want to look at Julius for this? Wolverine maybe. No, I don't think he's a rank imbalance dynamic sort of hero that you nerf. I think the Fantastic example works fine. Yeah. IMO, the problem with BP is, again, I'll take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. I'm like a gold/diamond at best. And IMO, if he misses one of his dashes, he's basically a spectator for like a 10 whole second. Yes! Okay, I was one of the people saying that nerf to BP was pointless. No one who cares about him, no one who dislikes playing against him cares about the cooldown of dash. Oh, okay, he missed dash. I didn't have a problem with him then. It just made Panther feel worse to play and not feel better to play against. That was a really bad change. That was something to turn the knobs on win rate. Basically, probably because lower ranks, because of that being a hard cap on his uptime, that it was a proxy nerf to ult charge and how many times he ulted a game. Because he wouldn't be in doing damage as much. Mega Peel 4 is basically useless the entire game. Also, I don't know if my message got sent or not, and I'm sorry for saying this. It's alright, bro. How you doing, by the way, Dark Knight? Thank you for the follow. Tippy goes pew. Bad for both Panther and Ops, because then he will receive the Wolverine treatment and he will be perma-banned. Consider myself a casual player who mains BP on DPS but flexes more support and tank. And since I have an understanding of the character, I have little to no issues with BP unless my fellow healer doesn't patty cake with me. See, this is the issue with trying to look at a player base's perspective that you don't align with, basically. It's like, yes, you can do something about Panther. You can. I can. But other people will leave at a disproportionate rate compared to going against other heroes. Do they find the dynamic of what you do against this hero interesting? The answer right now is no. And I'm not saying dive is bad or dive shouldn't be allowed or anything, but Panther has that very unique interaction, is that the sheer speed of this hero is this is the lethal one in that dive, bro. It's like, for most players, it's like, yep, Panther's here, bro. I'm gonna exploded. Like, imagine BP with percentage damage. No. I hate the whole most counterable character argument because my character's not legitimately has more characters than BP. It's because of the sheer hard counter aspect of the counter. Because, like, if you include soft and hard counters, I don't think he's the most counterable hero in the game. But for hard counters, he's got to be up there, bro. Because all he is a melee ranged hero with nothing else. So if you have something that CCs him, that is the hero being switched off completely. Like, you just hit the off button. If you have time, please look at this game replay idea. I can't right now, bro. I gotta keep it going. I dislike that you're low-key punished for managing to damage BP. I hit some nice shots on it. This is, look, Ruben, you're actually getting at the point, right? You are not rewarded for actually hitting shots on Panther. You don't hit shots on Panther to answer him, which is bad. It's that simple, right? We need to actually make that a potential solution for players. I don't care about top 1%, bro. We can top 1% this game into the ground where no one pays for anything, the servers die. Okay? It doesn't keep the product alive. I'm sorry. Like, you can love your skill ceiling and everything, but people don't play Quake anymore. It can't just be skill ceilings. Get that, but in a ranked mode, isn't their objective to win, and you win by being better than the other team? If you're better at playing against BP, you deserve to win. Yes, that's true, but it's not the point. It's so real for this. Thank you, Jade. You think the Rivals devs will actually rework him? I don't see them not doing something to him in the future. But right now they're doing, oh, here's your nerf to Panther, like, besides the point stuff, like reducing his health. Oh, yeah, he's got minus 25 HP. That's great. He was full health the whole time he one-shot me, and I complained about him for 4 months. Says, like, some random Cloak and Dagger player, right? Like, they don't care. Only below 100 HP, so at that point he's probably already dead. Yeah. Anyway. Mr. Fantastic has had some changes. Let me let me get the graphic. Hold on. Are you C&D into Panther though? One, it was an arbitrary example. Two, because it's a hero shooter. Okay. Where am I looking for? Rivals page. Okay. All right. The camera tweaking on a whole new level. Okay, feast your eyes on it, and then I'll go back to gameplay scene, because what is the camera doing? Okay. Alright, we get it. Come on, camera. I have to close it. Okay, we should be good now. We good? We're good. Chat, what they have done with Mr. Fantastic is not a bug fix. And I'm sorry to the BP mains, who I did not give enough weight to the no-reg issue. I'm sorry. Genuinely, I'm going to say it. A blind spot for me. I think as well, I probably, like, to be honest, for a hero that does a lot of insta-kill one-shots or very high damage, like accessing 250 HP breakpoint in a short period of time, no regs do have more of a more of an impact than I was giving credit. And that dynamic doesn't exist on this hero, but even now I'm like, oh my god, no reg fix. Okay, so what would happen on this hero a lot, this is going to be a big one, I need to see how this feels, is, give me the Galactabot. I guess give me Jeffrey. Dynamic movement, sick. 2 changes. Mr. Four Nation, we are so back! Trouble has arrived. You used to get no regs when you swing your arm around. This is like all your value, okay? This is what you do in a game. I noticed it immediately. About 60% of your time in here, the middle 60% is where your hits actually registered. That was way more forgiving. Immediately I know it is, bro. They all hit. They all hit! Yes! Oh my god, man. That's so big. That's so big. You could not hit targets this far away a lot of the time. That's actually so good, man. That's so good. He was out of range. I hope. Oh my. Dude, all the hits are registered. I'm gonna be doing this all game. Now the other change he received.
Say that again.
I need someone with bullets. James Barnes. Basic combat. Where you going? Okay. Bye. What am I looking for? I think that's all good. Health restore off. Okay.
5, 4, 3,
The other thing they fixed.
1.
We've been discovered. A futile attempt.
Okay. Maybe hit me. I'm gonna need 3 buckies.
Excellent.
Step up your game. Hello? Maybe I do need the health restore in there.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let me return the favor.
They all hook in this order. What is that? Okay, shoot. They restore health as well. God damn it. Okay, I need to take the damage. Sorry, everyone. Good night, Devil. Sleep well, bro. Thanks for stopping by. Are you shitting me? I'm sorry, what? We all saw that. That one hit? That one hit. Oh my god, why can they not hit me? They fixed a lot of cases apparently with the shift not registering. Currently, I am less than 50% of them going through. So it looks like this was not fixed. That one hit. I can't tell you how important this is because only half of this ability has worked ever. You get lucky with this, that's it. It can be point blank, I do not care. Being able to hit a 180 projectile after you are stalling, there are so many opportunities this can create. This is like one of your carry moments, and it's not been in the kit. Okay, hit a shot though. Stop using hook, everybody. There we go. My bad. I guess my... Oh, there's one that I missed and hit. Yeah, oh god, man. Okay. Let me in the range I can shoot you. Fan behavior. Wait, I'm cooking? Oh! I don't know if it feels better yet. I have to test this in game. The left click feels good. Ow. How do I beat 3 Bucky bots as Mr. Fantastic, bro? And there you have it.
I'm not ready to give up yet.
Know that.
We've been discovered.
Pick another character like Hella. Because of Bucky's over health. True. We all love Heather. Heather. Yeah, let's go advanced combat. So maybe she actually hit me.
5, 4, 3.
Propose a BP rework if you scroll up. Let me know. Give me a sec. Oh. Wait. I missed that one.
I'm not ready to give up yet.
This is a high hit rate. That one gave me the reticle or the animation, the particle. Sorry. Most of these are hitting so far. It seems like the main issue that's still there is if you miss, it will incorrectly give you a splash effect sometimes. And a sound that you made the hit. It doesn't feel like center mass shot like that one there. That one there felt BS. But I think center mass shots are all going through. Oh my god! Chat, I gotta get in. I gotta get in. Tank a maximum pulse? How do I do that? Hit a shot, maybe? Hit a shot, mate. Learn to aim on your hit scan play. Reload. Flex for us? For free? New map? Do we look at the new map? Don't forget Cryon's play. Oh, true! Hold on. Everyone hold. What is this? Animal Crossing backline. Yeah, nice. Almost had it.
Oh my fucking god. Bro, that should not be able to happen.
Yes! Hold on, hold on. He didn't jump off with you? Did it run out of time? That's insane. W clip, he takes out both rodents. I like that. Thank you, Cryon. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. 3.5. Okay. Last thing before we hop in was... What rank are you on? I'm GM2, Cold. Pocket Watcher. Where was it? PDX. They got the character eventually, or they get a rework. After a few months, it'll be the new norm. I can't see it. I need to scroll further than I can go. Can you repost it, PDX? Let's go. Quick match, Heart of Heaven. Map is the best map? Really? That is a crazy loading screen.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
I've seen wonders out
I like this. We're on a boat.
most few humans will ever behold.
Don't move, I'm almost done.
There's a solution for every problem.
I'm done. Come out. Really, bro? Really?
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
If you should fall mortal, riches will not buy
What is this hella skin, bro?
my realm.
I lied? Oh, for
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to
What
do
it-
is
oh.
capture the mission area.
Hello. I like this. Not bad. Oh! What is this? What is this circus? Hello, everyone. I like this. I like this already. I don't know if I hate it in a coordinated environment, but it's not like you at least have the left to come out as well. I hate it. I saw you miss that. What if I touch point though? Is this point tiny? Oh, hey, bro. It is. I'm getting those hit regs. Do I just hide in here, bro? Is this... Let me... Lady Dimitros. This is a Jeff map, you will hate it? Oh, okay, never mind then. Okay, Captain. What is this? Wait. Oh! Wait. I got the ult still. I'm still going! I'm actually him. My performance is literally dying with all the smoke effects. Holy sh... I can't look around. Walk! I don't know what that means, Soap. What, Spider Island's true? Love solving a fantastic when BP's on the other team, yep. Too much smog. Now my frames are fine. Was there a portal? So just scratching my face with the microphone. Oh my! I don't know if they changed anything with how your E connects or where it drops you, but that felt like it was very forgiving. As opposed to how it's been in the past. I need to see more. I need to see more. Meet when I'm Philip Hoffman. They buffed the goat. OG maps don't have gimmicks, except for destructible enviro. I'm not sure how I feel about this, because I'm getting really weird performance drops. I can reliably hit everything that gets strange altered, bro. Fish. Maybe use a bubble? Think I hit it? You stopped hitting me. Oh! I hit it though. Oh! Bro reloaded the water pistols. It hit. It hit. This is incredible. Every time people break my thing, I'm actually doing something in return. This is insane. I don't know how much value it's going to be now if the shift projectile hits. It's like every time you're kind of in a hopeless scenario, you have a chance to flip it. Okay, this is... Oh, hey, bro. Oh my god. Give me that fish! John. This feels so good. I already know like 4 tanks, 5 healers, and 2 DPS, and I still can't figure out Thor. Thor's one of those weird ones that I feel like the playstyle is something unintuitive. It's like, I think it's like, is it not playing on off angles or +1ing with like another diver? Actually, no, I feel like I'm slapping terms on it in a way that's like way more complicated than it actually is. No, Thor just like, he just seeks out heroes he destroys in a 1v1. That's it. That's all he does. No? Fish. Free low. We made it. It feels fantastic. It does. Okay. What if he gets more health, less damage, and an after image of where he was when he starts the dash? Lasts until dash is complete. If you hit the after image, you do half of the normal damage you would do. Huh. Probably no. Good map. Are you a girl or a boy? TikTok fam, I'm going to end the live. Still over on the purple app if you're interested, but I think because of the performance issues, I'm going to close one of the streams. So I will see you guys Monday. Thank you for the love tonight, TikTok fam. Good night, sleep tight. They don't want me to be girls. Step chat's gone, we made it. YouTube, you're staying. You can stay. Oh, we're still going. Come practice range, Mr. Sir. What am I looking for?
Everything eventually ends. I'm here to make sure this is not the day that it does.
Ah. Fish. Wow. Was it something I said? Whew. Minutes 20, that's going to be a 14-minute game, if not longer. Is your server? Yeah. There's this one time I was eco-dueling Hela and destroying her as Adam. I love that. Adam isn't bad in 1v1s if you got the game. I might have to be honest and say Adam isn't bad in 1v1s if you have the habits. If there's a Hela peeking at a corner, she can't peek anymore, bro. You have self-heal and a projectile. You just do this at the corner. If she hits you, you don't need to kill her. She can't play the game. She goes away for a second. Now I get free time to charge this. Peek again, idiot. Like... I ran out of mouse pad. That's why I missed the bot, guys. Favorite Adam skin? It's... Blood Soul's really good. But I do like the sound effects on this one. It's probably this one. Barely. What is it? If I tap right click, I need to know how viable this is. Pretty bad. Still obsessed with Blood Soul. Does it have a color change? We're playing Adam in Doom match, you can win every fight. True. Adam was one of the characters I went, I'm never gonna main his lame ass, and then actually tried him and fell in love with his kit after I was told, like, dude, play him like Hela. Yeah, you don't, not as much anymore, but yeah, kinda. God, I went against Golden Nut, who is like an Adam OTP, around my rank, and he pretty much exclusively, like, flank Adams. But I beat the guy by being on main more, because... It's like, oh, he killed 2 people, which I res twice as often. Which is like, you didn't answer bro's question. How's the Mr. Fantastic changes? Is that the one? Bacon, they feel good. You can still... They haven't fully fixed this one. Because you can miss and it will still give you the particle effect and the hit sound. But it seems like all the center mass shots do not no reg anymore. Like they do. And this is so good. It's always in the hit state. It's so good, bro. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah, it's so good. How fucking good is that? It's so good! Oh! It's beautiful. It's so good, man. At least the hero mostly works. Now he's an actual DPS. If I'm gonna do no damage to one target, at least let me proc my hits. It's like... And I feel like it didn't used to be as bad either.